All right, in math today, we are on page 30 and 31 in your instruction book. And we are going to practice 3 problems because you have a quiz tomorrow. All right, I need a reader for number 9. Number 9, Zoe, nice and loud.
Smallville has 12,000, is that how you say it?
You're right so far. 12,000.
548 people registered to vote. In the last election, only 4,685 people voted to the nearest thousand. About how many registered voters did not vote?
All right, before we do any work, what do we need to show in our word problem? Angie?
Underline?
Yes, underline our important numbers. So I'm going to underline how many people registered to vote. Whoop, that went too long. And the last election, only this many people voted. All right, what else is important in our word problem? Hayden?
What's the question?
What's the question? So the question is about how many registered voters did not vote. That is our question. Are there any key words that we need to know? Cadence.
How many?
How many? Okay, about how many?
And nearest thousand.
Yep, and we are rounding to the nearest thousand. So there's a lot of important information here.
Yeah.
Now, you said how many, okay? About how many? Does that mean we want an exact answer, or is an estimate okay? Josiah?
Exact answer.
If
No, not an exact.
Right, we do not need an exact answer. So anytime they say about how many, you're allowed to round your numbers, the ones in the problem, and make them easier to work with. So see what this guy says. He says, what operation do I use after I round the numbers? So you always round your numbers first, okay? You round them first to make it easy. So before we do any math, we need to round our numbers to which place? Madeline?
The nearest thousand.
To the nearest thousand. So let's write both of our numbers down. We've got 12,548. And we have 4,685. And don't forget the basics. If we are rounding to the nearest thousand, which place must we underline? Angie?
In the first number, the 2, and then you underline the 5. The circle the 5.
Okay, underline the 2, circle the 5. Okay, that's the thousands place. All right, anything before the underlined place we can copy down. But now we have to use our brains and think. 5 is right in the middle. That's the tricky one. What do we do with a 5? Cadence?
Go up.
Go up. So our 2 becomes a 3. And then everything else becomes a what? 0. Good. Thanks for raising your hand.
That was easy. Those are always easy.
I hope so. All right, let's try the other number. Which is our thousands place? Madeline?
The 4.
The 4. You circle the 6. There is nothing to bring down before. What is our 6 telling us to do? Zoe?
Huh?
What's the 6 telling us to do to the 4?
Go up.
Go up. So it becomes a 5. And then what happens to the rest? Cadence?
0.
Zeros.
5,000.
All right, now they want us to do a math problem. Is it easier to add or subtract numbers like this than it is to add and subtract numbers like this?
Yes.
Okay.
A little bit.
So make sure when you're doing a math problem, they say estimate your answer. That doesn't mean add it up difficultly and then round your answer. You round first. All right? Now, are we done with the problem?
No.
What's the question, Josiah?
How many?
All right. To the nearest thousand, about how many registered voters did not vote? All right, so we know this many people are registered, but only that many people voted. Are we going to be adding or subtracting to find our answer?
Subtracting?
Yes. All right, so which number goes on top? 5,000? Josiah?
No, 13,000.
Okay, good. Why can we not put 5,000 on the top?
Because it's smaller than 13,000.
All right, in subtraction, we must make sure the largest number's on top. All right, so we have 13,000 registered voters, about, and only 5,000, about, voted? We can do our subtraction. You subtract on your paper and check my work. All right, I'm getting a thumbs up from some students. They're saying mine looks correct.
I can't see yours.
All right. Good. Now the only thing I can do to make my answer perfect, I need to write it on the line and include what? Chloe?
Do not vote.
Good, a label. So 8,000 people did not vote, which is a lot of people. When you guys are old enough, I hope you all vote
For what?
for any elections. It's important that your voice is heard.
About how many did not vote?
All right, good. I'm getting lots of thumbs ups.
That is correct.
All right. I'm going to get the board erased and scroll to our next problem so you guys can turn your head to the next page.
Don't we have board erasers? Miss Sarah, don't we have board erasers?
All right, moving on down to question 10. Do I have a reader? Let's see. Madeline, nice and loud.
Grandview Golf makes wooden golf tees in 2010. They made 380,285 tees in 2011. They made 525 tees to the nearest 10,000. How many tees did they make in the 2 years?
That's a lot.
Okay, so this problem is the same as the last one. All right, so let's mark it up first. What are the important numbers? Do we need to know the amounts of tees? Kids? Are the years important or are the number of tees they made important?
The number of tees.
The number of tees. So I'm going to underline those. Lots of tees.
What are tees?
In golf, it's the little stand for the ball you stick in the ground
Oh,
to hit it off of.
my grandpa loves golf.
Okay, so what else is important for us to take note of? Hayden?
How many tees did they make in?
All right, you found the question. I always put that in a box. Put my question in a box. And since this is a rounding problem where they want us to estimate the answer, there is one more very important thing. Cadence?
10,000.
Yes, to the nearest 10,000. So you make that look important however you want. All right, so before we do the math, right, we want to make the numbers easier to work with. So we're going to do our rounding first. So go ahead and copy down both of your numbers, and we need to round them to the nearest 10,000. So we have 380,285 and 512,525.
It says there's 10,000.
All right, yeah, so 10,000s. Andy, and my first number, which digit should I underline?
The 8.
All right, this 8 here. So we'll circle the 0. All right, remember anything before your underline place, just bring straight down. But now we're at a stopping point. What does my 0 tell me? Madeline?
The 8 can stay the same.
The 8 can stay the same. And then everything else after that is going to be what? Quentin?
He is going to be 0.
Zeros. Okay, just make sure you have the same amount of place values as before and you're perfectly correct. All right, on this number, which digit do we need to underline? Hayden?
1.
1. So we circle our 2. All right, we can copy down the stuff in the front. What is my 2 directing us to do with the 1? Noah?
Keep it the same.
Keep it the same, and then everything else is a 0. All right, now back to the question, right? We have rounded numbers. The question says, how many tees did they make in the 2 years? So what math operation do we need to use? Addition or subtraction? Hayden?
Addition.
Addition. We want to know how many they made total. So we need to add these two rounded numbers. 380,000. Make sure you're writing with me. 510,000. Add these up. Make sure you check my work when you're done.
Good plus.
It's addition. We want to know how many teas they made overall the 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I got some thumbs up, so I think I did my work correctly. What is missing on my solution bar? Angie.
The labels.
All right, what's my label? Noah?
Teas.
Teas.
We're names.
Or you can even call them golf tees, if that makes more sense to you. All right. Any questions on that one? Noah?
Nothing but my mom, grandpa, and all my family members, they love golf.
Yeah, so you made a connection to this problem? Very good. All right, we have one more to practice. Great job so far.
We're getting smarter by
All right, while I am scrolling my screen down, do I have a reader? All right, Chloe, nice and loud.
Movie Mart shipped 264,398 DVDs to make its customer last year. To the nearest 10, how many DVDs did Movie Mart ship? Circled a letter of the correct answer.
All right, so Movie Mart. They shipped some movies. Do you think we need to underline the movie amount? Let's stay consistent, okay? That's what I would always do. My important numbers, I always underline them. All right, what else is important in our question? Angie?
to the nearest 10.
To the nearest 10. That's how we're rounding. Cadence?
Did Movie Mart, how many did Movie Mart ship?
Yeah, our question. How many movies did they ship? All right, now they told us how many they shipped. So what are we asked to do in this question? Noah?
Round to the nearest 10.
Okay, that's it. So let's copy your number down so we don't make a silly mistake. And we're rounding to the nearest 10. So which digit should I underline? Josiah?
9.
The 9, good. Then we circle the 8.
Oh.
So this one, you bring down a whole bunch of these greater place values. Those aren't changed. What does the 8 tell us to do that 9? Aiden?
Go up.
This situation can be rather tricky. Angie, we talked about this yesterday. So if the 8 tells my 9 to go up, what has to happen?
The 3 becomes a 1 and the 9 becomes a 0.
Well, the 9 will become a 0, but the 3 won't become a 1.
13.
It has to become bigger.
4.
A 4, good. So when that happens, it's kind of like saying the 9 becomes a 10, right? But we can't do that. So we have to add a value to our 3. And it becomes a 4. And then everything else is a 0.
Like Animal Farm.
It is a little like that.
That one's a little way.
So when that happens, you know, you just have to move up to the next place value. All right, so which answer do we need to select? Madeline?
C.
C. All right, good. Ellie chose C as the correct answer. Explain how she got her answer. Can we write what we just did?
She did what we did.
She did what we did. She got it right. But we need to explain, okay? If that, on a test, if it says explain and you don't use words and tell me how she did it, I can't give you points. So how can we explain what we just did? Noah?
Just say how we did that, because she did the same thing.
Right, and I am asking you right now to try to say what you just did. How could we start our first sentence? So Ellen chose C because what?
It's the right answer, and because, I don't know.
Okay, I'll get us started, then you guys can tell me how to finish. Aline, or Ellen, I'm not sure you see that. Aline chose C because, what did you do first? Madeline?
She wrote down the number, then she saw that she could copy down everything because she underlined the 9 and then circled the 8 because those were the 10s, because 9 was the 10s, and then she looked at it and the 8 told us to round up, so then we changed the 4 to a 3.
Okay, good. You're exactly right. So if you want to kind of write your own words down, that is perfect. I'll put some words up here if you need to borrow some of mine.
Just makes a weird sound.
If you've got your own words, feel free to use them. So when math wants you to explain, it seems very hard, but really all you do is think, what did I do first, second, third? Just write down your steps. Are we beginning to feel a little more confident explaining our own math? A little bit?
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Kind of. I don't have enough room to write all this down.
If you need to go up the side, you can wind it around. This is just for you to study for your quiz tomorrow. Now your quiz tomorrow will not have problems this difficult. And I want to do one quick example while I still have our friends at home. So can I erase this top portion here? All right. I'll give you a couple more minutes to finish writing.
Okay, we don't write it off. It's too big.
That's fine. You are allowed to use your own words if you need to. Can you get the light for me, Madeline? All right, if you have space in your textbook, you can do this example wherever there is space. And I believe you might have some room in that right-hand side. Are we all ready with this?
Wait. No. I write them all down the side.
All right, I will do my work up here. So you might see a question just like this on the test tomorrow. And since I've seen the test, do you think I'm helping you out right now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so pay attention. There might be a question like this that says, estimate the answer.
That's just look around.
Okay? And then the problem might look like this.
Are you just making up numbers? Is this real?
So, what do we do? They did not tell us a place to round to. Do you think that means you get to pick?
No.
It does. It does.
You have to pick one.
So tomorrow on your quiz, you might get a math problem like this, and it'll say, estimate your answer.
Add it or solve it?
Well, you need to solve it, but before you solve it, they want you to make your numbers easier to work with. So you tell me, what would be easier? To round these numbers to the nearest 100 and add them, or to round them to the nearest 10 and add them? What's easier? Chloe?
Nearest 10.
If I round to the nearest 10, look at what I would have. I would have 300 or 530 plus 620.
There's 100.
If I round to the nearest 100, let's see what that would look like. Gotta recopy. I would have 500 plus 600. So you guys tell me which is easier, rounding to a bigger place value or a smaller place value. Hayden?
The 100.
Yeah. So I hope you're listening in the back. Okay. You will have about 2 or 3 of these questions on your test tomorrow, where they will say estimate the answer. They'll give you a problem, and then you choose how you round them. So my advice, round to a larger place value. This is easy to add, right? We can stack them up, 500 plus 600. We can easily add that. That's simple.
I don't understand it.
What do you not understand?
I don't.
Okay. The only difference for word problems, usually it says estimate the answer, round to the nearest 10. That's not going to be there. You pick what place you round to. Okay? Round first and then solve your problems. Cadence?
Do we round both of them?
Yep. Should you round both numbers to the same place?
Huh?
Like, should I round 1 to the 10s and 1 to the 100s? Do you think that works? No, pick the same.
That would be.
So, somewhere on your paper, we're going to try 1 together. Find any space you've got. Okay, so we're going to estimate the answer. And I'm not telling you what place to round to.
Can we do it on our whiteboard?
Yes. All right, so we're going to estimate the answer. I'm not telling you a place to round to. You get to pick. All right, so if I said to estimate the answer to that problem, I would hope that you would round them all to the nearest thousands place, right? That would be the easiest thing to do. Madeline?
But like when we round to the nearest, when we add up to the nearest 100, do we have to? Is that like still gonna be the correct answer? Like if it was 100.
So no matter which place you round to, as long as you round your numbers before you add them, you'll get credit. But I'm just trying to make your life easiest. So on this problem, I would round to the nearest 1,000. Okay, so I'm going to do that up here. You do it on yours. My 3 makes my 1 stay a 1. This 4 keeps the 3 a 3.
4,000.
Yeah, I don't even have to stack them. I could, but I know that that answer is 4,000. Okay? So on your quiz tomorrow, you'll have a few like that. So make sure you round first, whatever place you want. I'd pick the biggest place, that's the easiest. And then you find your estimated answer.
Oh, that was easy.
All right.
Can you do another?
See you, virtual kiddos. I will see you soon.
What?